pride and excitement that is felt when we find out that that new actor, that great athlete, his chief of staff, is Jewish. And I am the collective guilt and shame that is felt when we find out that that serial killer, that Ponzi schemer, that wife beater is Jewish. I am the Jewish star, tattooed on the chest of the teenager who chooses to rebel against his parents' and grandparents' warnings of a lonely Goyim cemetery by embracing that same Judaism and making permanent his Jewish identity. I am all the words in Yiddish that I've been called all my life that I still don't understand. I am going to all 3 fish shows this weekend. I am my melody of Adon Olam. I am my melody of Adon Olam. The words may be the same, but I am my melody of Adon Olam. I am not getting bar mitzvah, I am a bar mitzvah. I am a concept foreign to the rest of the world. I am not Judaism, I am sleepaway camp. I am your grandmother, who's seen Shortcomb in Auschwitz, who's seen 49, 67, and 73, and who's tired of trying to make peace with those people who just want to blow up buses and destroy her people. I am the 19-year-old who's seen Budrus, don't mess with the Zohan, and waltz with Bashir, and who thinks, who knows, that peace is possible. I am the complicated reason that you take the cheese off the burger you eat at the Saturday morning tailgate. I am constantly struggling to understand my Jewish identity outside of religion. I am the Torah and not the Old Testament. I am a kippah and not a skull cap. I am a Jew and not necessarily an Israeli. 5,000 years old, not 60. A religion, not a country. I am never asked if I have horns or a pot of gold, if I rule the world, or why I killed Jesus. I am asked where my black hat is, if I really get 8 presents on my Christmas, why my sideburns aren't super long, and if I've really never tried bacon. I am asked what a gefilte fish is. I say, I don't know, I don't like it, nobody does, but we eat it because it is what we do. I am asked if my dad is a lawyer. I say no. I say no. My mom is. My dad is an accountant. I am asked if my grandparents were in the Holocaust, as if it was a movie. Yeah, they were, but luckily they were also on Schindler's List. I am on JDate and not Match.com because, well, it's just easier that way. I am that feeling of obligation to buy the Dead Sea salt at the mall kiosk because you know the woman is Israeli. I am an IDF sweatshirt and the chai around your neck. I am a $100 challah cover that you will never use and a 5-shekel piece of red string that you will wear until it withers away. I am your Hebrew name and your Israeli cousins. I am your Torah portion and your 13 candles. I am your bat mitzvah dress and that cute Israeli soldier on your birthright trip. I am 18. When I discover that Israel is not actually a garden of Eden, of milk and honey, where Jews of all backgrounds, ethnicities, and styles of worship come together, eternally happy and appreciative, to do a constant horah in the streets of the Promised Land. But I am still confident that it will be. I am the way your stomach forgets to be hungry and your lungs forget to breathe. When the rabbi commands the final Tikiyah Gedolah at an entire congregation, a congregation that is not any one synagogue, but an entire people, listens to what on January 1st is a ball dropping in Times Square, but today, any day in late September or early October, for the 5,770th time is a ram's horn being blown into for what seems like 10 minutes, like the 8 days the oil burned, and how David defeated Goliath, and how Moses parted the seas. It would have been enough, Diana, how we won the war, and how your grandparents survived. Nes Gadol Hayasham Shana Tova, time for bagels and lox, because I am Jewish. Thank you. One day, pronouncements of peace will be met not with skepticism, but with a collective hopefulness. The breath of a nation held longer than the lungs of any individual could. One day, too many will have died. Even the bitter and the angry and the seekers of revenge will tire of their quest for justice. They will settle for quiet. They will realize that to settle is not to sacrifice. One day, One day, our images of fear will be replaced. Burnt out buses, suspicious packages, armored cars, checkpoints, shelters, something will feel odd. There will be an unsettling lightness when we walk into malls and onto buses, into high holiday services without handing our bags over to guards with guns. One day, the promises of our ancestors will be weighed against the promises to our children. One day, the promises of our ancestors will be weighed against the promises to our children. One day, the promises of our ancestors will be weighed against the promises to our children. But I'm afraid that if that doesn't happen, there will come one day when we look in the mirror and realize that we don't recognize ourselves anymore. There will come one day when we stop sleeping, our dreams will haunt us, we will hate who we've become. We will do anything. One day, revolutions won't just be for the young and the naive. One day we will revolt not against the establishment, but against ourselves. One day we will realize that wars are painted in blood red no matter how we color them, and that peace, no matter how dark its prospects seem, demands no the color of our enemies' eyes. One day we will realize that we can walk into the libraries that house our people's stories and move our people's books on war from the current events section to the history section. One day we will make good on the promises that we've made to generations of our children, that there will no longer be a need for a military when they turn 18. One day, I will shake the hand of the man whose father tried to kill mine and my father his, and we may not embrace. We may want to hit each other, but out of respect for our children who have found a ball and who have made up a new game where they throw the ball to each other and try to catch it, we will grit our teeth and pinch our lips and grip as tightly as we can and nod. One day, we will dream again. One day, it will not be a dream. One day, we will ask ourselves how we could have been so much like our parents. One day, this poem will be about today. Thank you.